Hello everybody, back from Circus Sub Community. It's me again. More happy handstands with me, Aidin this time. So how's everyone? How's everyone doing? Had a good Monday. Does it still feel like a Monday? It's always good to know. Yeah, we have to do a bit of handstands today, as always. And I've been seeing some of you guys do some progress. You've been tagging me some stuff. It's been really cool to see. So we're going to be pushing it a little bit further in some regards. Drop a hi in the chat. Let me know who's here. It's always nice to, see people say hello. Has anybody said? Yeah, cool. We got Yana, Felice, Alice. Hey, how you guys doing? Ready for more funky handstands. So we'll just do a brief run over what the plan is to go for today. I will attempt to get the sun out of my eyes at some point, but not a whole lot I can do about that. Apologies. So, on the agenda for today, of course, we've got our regular warm-up. Warm-ups are always great. Let's do those. As always, focusing on shoulders, wrists, abs. We've got our usual alignment drills, just because they're generally pretty good. There's a couple we can try to do as well. We've got our regular handstand practice, of course, but we're going to change that out, make it a little bit more difficult, put a little bit more endurance in, see if we can hold some of it. Just to, shake it up. We don't want to do the same thing all the time. To finish off, I thought we'd have a quick look at chair stands, and then we'll do our stretch and cool down. Just real quick, I want to go over what you need to have, just a little bit more in detail for this. As you guys would have seen at the start of the stream, of course, with handstands, you want your wall. Your wall is your friend. Here's your best friend. It's great. You need enough space. Have some cushions or some pillows in case you're worried about falling over. Which might come into play with some stuff that we're doing. I want you to have a Theraband or a broomstick or a stick. Anything. Ideally, a stick is best. I don't have a stick, so I have a Theraband, but you do you. Work with what you want. Grab a water bottle, and the chair you want needs to be pretty solid. I don't think anybody's necessarily got hand balance chairs at home. If you do, great, grab that one. It's brilliant. But something that has legs straight down, not out on an angle, and isn't wobbly, there's no creaking, and ideally something that's not super low to the ground, because you're going to be having your shoulder on it later. And we've got a Maddie and a Julia joining in, so hello. So, shall we just kind of like crack into it, get started with the warm-up? And I thought we'd make the warm-up a little bit slightly nastier today. Because handstands are a full body compound exercise, right? They work everything. So we should start off with that as a warm-up. So we're going to go into what I'm sure is an absolute favourite for most of you. I thought we'd crack in with some burpees. At separate levels to start off with. So your bog standard burpee is your jump up, come down to plank and back up. And if that's where you're at, brilliant. If you're feeling a little bit more engaged, ready for a challenge, we have two variations to add. The first is when you come up out of your plank and do a jump. It's not just a straight jump. We're going to go for a tuck jump, so knees into chest. Thinking about that tuck shape we started working on last week, yeah? So not heels to butt, knees to chest. You want to be a little ball, not this sort of like strung out, weird, I don't know, that kind of shape. The other variation, if you're feeling good about where your arms and shoulders are going to go, is you're going to do a push-up at the bottom. So into your plank, push-up, and then up. And if you're exceptionally crazy, you can do both. Just, why not? We're only going to do 10 to start with. We're going to do a brief break, and then we can come back and do another set of burpees afterwards, just to get us nice and ready and warm. So, are we ready? Just 10. Whatever variation you want. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's 2, folks. Halfway. Watch out for the ceiling. 2 more. Alright, Right, don't stop. We're just going to go into some jumping jacks. Get the heart rate up. Get the heart rate up. Make it work. Switching to high knees. Knees up. And then kick your butt. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Don't stop, don't stop. High knees. Kick your butt. Jumping jacks, but no, just jumping jacks. And I want to see if you can alternate what your legs and arms are doing. So instead of them going both out and both in, legs are out, arms are in, arms are out, legs are in. Ooh, brain. Like snow angels. We're going to go elbows to knees, and I want you to start focus on tucking in, getting your ribs and your core to start working to pull in. Pull down, tap across, with a little bit of a hop. Back to our jumping jacks. And get ready because we're going to go for our last 10 burpees. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Five more, that's all. Two more. Feeling warm, got some blood moving. Good, grab some water. This place gets so warm. Take a couple of quick breaths. I'm going to move to some more slightly slower stuff. Our arm's going to reach across, pull back, push, come out. Comes across, pulls in, pushes away. It's going to start going to a diagonal. And then it's going to go up. Alright, how did that work? Up, behind. It doesn't really work on that angle. It made sense in my head when I tried it. We're going to go other arm, so across, bend, bend, and out. Make sure you're trying not to hit the wall behind you like I am. Hopefully you've got a little bit more space than that. Try to keep your shoulder down so it's not up here, it's nice and sitting low. And diagonal. Ooh. I had a massive cup of tea before I started this and I'm starting to feel like it was a mistake. Alright. Both arms together, cross in front. Cross. So they're always swapping which arm is on top. Shoulders staying down. Diagonals. And then just straight up and down. Making sure you're not going to hit the roof. Cool. And then just a little bit of a roll. Loose, floppy arms. Get your whole body doing everything. And then roll forward. Like a weird kind of... I don't know, I always feel like an elephant when I do this. Don't ask me why. Or do, but I probably won't answer. Okay. I want you to grab your broom or your Theraband or scarf or whatever substitute have you. You're going to be holding as close in as you can without it being uncomfortable in your shoulders. This is not trying to force the most amount of flexibility out. It's just to start warming up that range of motion. Just going to do a couple of dislocates. I'm probably go a little bit further, a little bit more resistance. And you're trying to keep your arms straight the whole time. Goes over, comes down, comes back up. What you want to avoid is bending. That just takes all the range of motion out of your shoulders. We want that movement. If you're bending your elbow, even if it's just one elbow, you see how it takes away from how much my shoulder moves? So just going all the way in and over. Always staying straight. We're going to take a little bit of slack off now. One of our arms stays straight up to the side. We're just going to work dislocates with the one arm. And what you want to focus on, this doesn't drift down, it doesn't start drifting up. This arm stays here, shoulder stays down. Your other arm just works your butt cheek to your thigh. Trying to really hit it straight by your ear. Three more. Other arm. It's weirdly quiet when there's only you in the room. Three more. We're going to do one of my favourites. I'm just going to adjust this down so you can see what's going on. You come down, you're going to fold at the hips, so your back wants to stay nice and flat. If you get to here, that's fine. Welcome to the club. If you get, but with like a flat back, obviously, and straight legs, and you like float down, come back up, so you're just going to be flat at 90. Legs a little bit wider than shoulder width. Keeping your back flat, and have a thumb face the ceiling. I'm just going to go for 10 slow control lifts straight to the side. And the thing you want to be sure of is that they're not coming behind you, not going in front. They're just going to be straight to the side. So just 10 of those. Controlled the whole time. They never just swing in and out. You should be able to stop it at any point happily. So 10, squeezing the shoulder blades together. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, squeeze those shoulder blades, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can do the same again, but this time they're going to 45 degrees in a Y shape, which is 1, 2, 3, don't let your chest come up, 4, kick that back flat, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The last one we're going to do straight up by our ears for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, we're just going to do some big old circles to loosen them up a little bit. It's also just fun, which is always good to do in a warm-up, I think. Warm-ups should be fun, otherwise you hate them. You can go the other way. Cool. I'm going to come down to our little nice flat little horse stance. Hands on your legs, and just do a couple of twists side to side. So you're going to keep both arms straight, just dropping one shoulder, turning to look up, and then other side. And again, once more. And again. Okay, the next one is a little ab drill I learnt from Rosalie. It's really what you make of it, but I've always found it's really useful for handstands because it really teaches you exactly what your abs are doing. And it's kind of hard to check that you guys are doing it correctly over the internet. It's really something you really need to feel for yourself. It is very much what you make of it. It's incredibly easy to cheat, but based on whoever said hi in the chat, you guys are all pretty switched on. You know what's going on. The idea is I'm lying on the ground. I've got my elbows stacked under my shoulders, and I'm going to keep my knees on the ground. I'm not pushing up out of my feet. And the only muscles I'm going to work is that contraction between my lower ribs and my hips. That's all. So I'm pulling my belly button up. I'm not pushing out my elbows. I'm not pushing out my legs. It's just this. It's going to be slow up, slow down, just 10. So I'm here, and I'm going to pull up. And this is just with my core. I'm not pushing out my legs, my elbows, and I come down. So that's 1. Going for 10. It's 2. To really feel like there's a pull and a squish and a contraction in. Your back should feel like it's starting to round. Be careful you don't drop out of it. You should control that release as equally as controlled as you are pulling on the way up. So it pulls all the way up, and you choose to let it release slowly. It does release all the way at the end, so you can get that maximum range of motion pulling back in again. That's like halfway. Another 5. Pulling in. Ribs into hips, put them into your pockets, and slowly release. It doesn't have to go very high. You don't have to go as high as I'm going. Just whatever's starting to switch them on for you. Good, another 4. Another 3. Keep breathing during this. As always, it will help. Just another 2. Relax, pull in. Your belly button pulls into your spine. Your upper abs pull your ribs in. Your lower abs pull your hips in. Make sure there's that curve happening. And the last one. And onto our wrists, which I know is Maddie's favourite part. So we're going to do the fish one again, but we're going to start off with a nice gentle roll around. Mix up your milkshake. And we'll go the other way. Make sure your brain knows how to do both sides. Fairly important, that. Into your roller coaster. You've got to drink your milkshake, but that's okay, because the joke I always make every lesson. Don't drink milkshakes on roller coasters, guys. It just ends in tears and occasionally other bodily fluids. Let's not talk about that. I'm going to go palm up, palm down, and your fingers aren't coming in, it's just that wrist joint. Six, 7, elbows straight. Up and down with thumbs and pinkies. Like that weird awkward handshake. I'm just going to do a couple of wrist figure of 8s. So it's leading with your thumb, comes down, comes around, comes down, comes around. And then you're going to lead with your pinky going the other way. It's coming up and around and up and around. Move a shake. Onto our knees, as always. You guys know the drill. We're going to go for our 10 little wrist push-ups. So fingers and knuckles stay on the ground, shoulders stacked above our wrist, and you're really pushing into those base knuckles. That's where your balance is going to be in your handstand. That's what we want to start being aware of. So just 10. And again, walking your knees back as required to make it where you need to be. Keeping your shoulders over your wrists. 7, 8, 9, 10. Thumbs, keeping your elbows still. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm really driving into this set of my knuckles to make that happen. I've lost count of these now. Do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these days, I guarantee I will learn how to count to 10. It's just not today. Apologies, I will have it for next week. Almost guaranteed. We're going to do our pinky side and really driving into the first knuckle on your forefinger and your thumb to lift that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, No. See, it works when I'm paying attention, not when I'm just talking as we go. And now 10, up to our fingers. Keeping your fingers locked in line the whole time, make them work as well. 3, it's still just your wrist hinging though. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming back a little bit closer, just going to put a little bit of weight into our hands in that circle. And again, really start getting your brain into your hands for this one. Really start trying to figure out exactly where the weight is, how you can push away from it, where the weight's going, how it goes there. Because this is all pretty crucial once you're in your handstand. And if your body alignment's right, it's a lot of it is figuring out where your hands actually help to keep that balance, along with your core. Man, core is everything. Always do abs, kids. Yeah, just gonna. It's like we would for the stretch exercise. We're just gonna rock backwards and forwards. A little bit of that going. Wrists over the other way. Same again. Well, I have met some handstand people who say you shouldn't stretch your wrists this way. Their analogy, from what I remember, is if you've got like a paper clip and you just keep bending it both ways, it eventually snaps. I don't agree with that because your wrist is made to do this. It feels good. Last one I'm going to do, second to last one, we have the awesome little fish dance. But we're going to go fists, rocking forward, and then we can bend our elbows to rock backwards. I find this one more so if I'm doing any stuff on bars or blocks, as opposed to hands on the ground, but it's also just nice to be able to strengthen your wrist in all the different ranges of motion that it has. And now, for Maddie's favourite bit, I'm going to go down, I'm going to have palms up, elbows above palms, and if you guys haven't done this before, start on one hand, go to the other. If you have, like I've told you to do before, we're just going to go on both hands in our weird kind of fish dance. And it's not a ton of pressure, guys. It's just enough to get a little bit of friction on the ground. It's not trying to like grind your wrists in. And go the other way. Okay. Grab some water. Let me know what your favourite wrist warm-up is, because it's always good to have a little bit of engagement in the chat. But if you're also just focused on doing your handstands, you do not have to reply to them in the chat. That is okay. And then we'll move into our alignment drills. Alright, now we don't have a lot of time. Ideally we'd start ramping these up so you'd be doing a little bit more so it builds to your conditioning and shape. With an hour class, we don't really have that. So if you're doing these at home, or you're watching the video later, pause it, do 2 sets if you feel like you're at that point. We're only going to do 1 here today because that's what we're going to do for time. So, as before, find your wall, pushing it away, ankles together, pointed toes, and that same contraction that we just did for the ab exercise, it's that pull in. Your belly button squeezing into your spine, you're trying to put your ribs into your pockets so your whole back is flat, your butt's squeezed, and that's to help enable that hip tilt under to get that nice flat back. Arms are pushing without letting your ribs come up. And we're just going to hold that shape, pushing the wall away as hard as you can for 10 seconds, starting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go for our 10 little leg slides. So again, hips and ribs stay exactly as they are. Anything from your hips up does not change at all, ever. You live like this now. It's just going to be a drawing of your legs up and back up. And that drawing of your does not come from a hip tilt. Your hips are already slightly tucked under to maintain that hollow body shape. It's just a closing of your leg up and opening out. Your hips don't move. So we're going for 10 of those. Coming in, going out. Feet don't have to leave the ground at all. And as far as it comes in depends on your core strength and how flexible you are. So you might not go in as far. You might go in further. That is okay. What's that? 3. 3? Probably 3. As you go, remember to squeeze your butt, maintain that hip tilt. 5. Remember to keep pushing. Keep your abs tucked in. Remember to keep breathing. 3 more. And make sure you're going to work straight. A lot of people stop like this. That's not what we're after. You don't want to do a handstand with slightly bent legs. All the way to straight. Last 2. And then we're going to do our 10 little leg lifts. Again, it's a small ankle we're going for. Can we see that? We can kind of see that. It's not all the way flat to 90. It's like a 15, 20 degree kind of tilt. The lower you stay, the harder it is. The more you come up, the easier it is. Working where you're at. Just 10. And again, hips don't have to move. Upper body doesn't have to move. Your arms always push. You keep breathing. We're just going to go for 10. It's just the legs. Pointed toes. Going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do these every time you do handstands, guys. So good to wake up positioning. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay for time, guys. I feel like we're doing okay. It's always good. Okay, Maddie's reiterating her love for the fish. It's good. It's good fun. Okay, onto our handstands on the wall. We've been doing just 10 seconds for the last couple of times consistently, right? Just going to open this. The window's starting to get a little foggy. Let's double it. We're still going for 3 sets. This time we're going to go for 20 seconds each on the wall. Start to build that shoulder strength, that push, the endurance to be able to find how to breathe in our handstands, because 10 seconds isn't that long. So we're going to go for 3 sets of 20 seconds on the wall with a little bit longer break in between. But that's where we're going, folks. So find your wall, as always, and get ready to get on up. I'm going to go on up, walking in, hands on the wall, as close as we can get. We're going to go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down nice and controlled, not smashing into the window. A little bit of a shake. And the trick for holding these is finding out how to breathe. And this is the weirdest part of explaining handstands to people, I find. If you've done dance or ballet or other parts of circus and I tell you to breathe out through your side, and that makes sense, brilliant. If you're not, like me when I started handstands and just like football, I didn't understand what the concept of breathing out through your side meant. Because if you're here, all of this is working. You can't expand here without losing your shape. So you need to come out here. And it's just a real focus of mentally sending your breath out through your armpit. If that makes sense. If not, I can spend more time talking about that. Drop a comment in if you want me to talk about what that actually entails more as best I can. I don't have the best words for it, but I can try. But I also know that I've also waffled enough because we have a second set to do. So let's get back on the wall, eh? Stop trying to make me procrastinate more. I see what you're up to. Find your space, up to the wall, and we're going to go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, a little bit of a shake. See if anybody wants me to talk about side breathing. No one said anything. Maybe we're all in their handstand. That is cool. So for the last one, I'm having a look at all of you who have said hello. Most of you guys are pretty switched on when it comes to handstands. So the last set we're going to do, I want you to have flexed feet. And what that's going to do is, instead of your body being slightly, this is the wall. Instead of being as close to the wall as you can, but you're still touching. You see how much of a, like you're on a tiny lean, but you're on a lean, right? Which is okay. If you get right up close to the wall, you're on barely any lean. As soon as you walk a little bit away, that lean's more pronounced. So when you kick up to your handstand, you're naturally going to about here, and you want to be here. So I want you to flex your feet, and what that's going to do is that's just going to push your feet, your body, just a little bit further away, more into that straight line. If you're at the stage where you're holding your handstand anyway, test if you can go to flex feet, then lift your feet back to point so you're floating away from the wall. Set up cushions if you want to. Have a little bit of time for that. Focus on the breathing out through your side. That's how it maintains, rather than breathing in through your belly because that's working, in through your ribs because those want to stay tucked in, out through the side. That's where it is. So set your cushions. I'm going to give you another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Felice is in about the side breathing thing. Yes, it's working. Good. Marvelous. 20 seconds, not 30 seconds yet, flexed feet hold. Or if you're at your flexed feet, you can start lifting up to try and float away from the wall. 20 seconds, here we go. Coming on down and over, up to the wall, flex feet, or point for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well, it's not bad. You guys just did like cumulatively a minute. And a minute hold on the wall is actually something to aim for. Come out of quarantine being able to hold a minute on handstands, pretty good. A lot of people can't do it. A lot of people struggle with it. But that's okay. So that is my challenge to you guys. By the time we come back out into being able to say hello and do all this handstand stuff in person, which would be great. Can't wait for that. Come out of it being able to hold a minute on a wall. Really, really good. Also, if any of you watching are into straps, good, do that. Shoulders, brilliant. Anyway, we have our kick-ups from the ground, but before we do that, I'm going to change it up slightly. We're going to do a set of 5 scorpion kicks in a row. So if I pull this and we go touch like there so you can see what I'm doing. This is aiming to get your push and the drive your back leg right for our kick. So we're going to do a set of 5 on each side, and then we're going to do our 3 kick-ups, but we're going to try and float them. So it's not just up, float down. We're going to go up, float, and come down as you choose to. Starting to build that conscious decision of, oh, I'm up here, and I'm going to choose to come down, not because gravity said so, but because I said so. That's what we're after. So for scorpion kicks, for those of you who don't know, you're still staying in a regular handstand position. I'm going to come down, one leg comes forward, I'm maintaining that straight line from my wrist all the way down my shoulder, and as I go I'm going to keep that all the way down through my back leg. My back leg lifts to that handstand position, or less, depending on how comfortable you are with doing a kick up. You don't have to go high for these. That is okay. That's not what we're after. My bottom leg is going to push, but it's going to stay tight. It's not going to come up. I want to focus on that drive out of my back leg. So as a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Example, I come down, I kick, I come down. But my bottom leg never comes up, right? It's just a push and it stays there. Ideally it should be straight as well. I know, I apologize for any ballet people who are watching. But we're going to do that, and as soon as you come down, I want you to push back up. So it's going to bounce, 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 bounce for 5. And your back leg is really doing that drive up. Don't kick the wall. Make sure you've got space. We're going to do 5 on our silly leg first. Look at that, I've learnt. Oh. So starting with your silly leg, not your bad leg, it's trying. That's what's going to be doing the pushing first. So just 5 up and down in a row. And together, going for 1, 2, oh, leg stays down. 3, 4, 5. I know the second one was a little bit off. I went, yes, handstand, not scorpion kick. Other leg, and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The variation on these, if you are comfortable with these anyway, is don't take your hands off the ground. So it's just going to be bounce, 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 so you don't have the momentum of falling forward to help lift you anymore. So what that would be like is I come up, that kind of thing. How are we doing for time? Tell you what, we'll do a set of those as well, because why not? So the first one is focused on keeping your shoulder position square as you come down. The second one is less of that and more assumes you can find that shoulder position anyway. It's more focused on that drive out of the back leg even more, because you can't rely on that tip to lift, it's just that drive. So sure, your bottom leg could do it all, but we want like an effortless handstand. So it's just that back leg driving as well as that bottom leg pushing, but that back leg really needs to lift. Okay, so 5 hands stay on the ground. Starting with your silly leg. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Watch out for the light, don't break the lights. And I'm trying to not have my back leg, the straight leg, I'm trying not to touch the ground with it the whole time. I want to keep that lifted a little bit. May as well get some free work out of it. Good leg. Hands staying on the ground, 5 in a row. Let's go. 3, 4, 5. And it's really quite obvious to see the difference between my good leg and bad leg, isn't it? And that's because I don't train the bad leg often enough. Really make sure you train both sides, folks. Okay. A little bit of water, or not, up to you. We're still going upside down. Oh, we're running out of time. No, we have time. We can do this. We're only going for 3 kick-ups on each leg. But this time I want you to try and hold and float. And if you're worried about falling over, okay, caveat, I know I tell you guys not to do them facing away from the wall, but in these kind of times, if you don't have someone who can spot and knows how to spot safely, don't just ask someone. If they're not comfortable, don't make them do it. If you're not comfortable with them, don't let them do it. But if you have a spot, great, have someone with a spot. I'll see if I can coerce a flatmate into helping me show how to spot next week. That'd be really cool. But what's going to happen is if you don't have a spot and you are worried about going over, I'm not going to teach bailing over the net. I don't think it's safe. You can do them facing away from the wall. So you're going to kick up like you're kicking into the wall. I want you to have this much space away from your hands from the wall, and your goal is not to touch the wall. I don't want you falling on the wall. That's purely there to save you. If you are comfortable with bailing already, or you have cushions and you are down for this, or you're happy handstand forwards rolling and you've got space or you have a spot, great. So what we're going to do is going to go 3 kick-ups, hold for a little bit, if you can, come down. That's it, that's all. I feel like I've over-explained this a lot, so let's just do it. You know, that's how you learn handstands, not by talking about them, you just do them. So of course we want to start with our goofy leg, Donald Duck or Pluto or whatever you want to call it. Don't call it a bad leg, your brain will remember that. So it's your goofy leg. Going to kick up, float, 2-3 seconds, and if you're floating longer, it needs to be a conscious decision to come down. If it's just up, float, and then, oh, I need to come down, that's fine. If you don't float, also fine. So 3, here we go. It's 1, not so nice. You guys see that arch that was going on? Want to avoid that. And to get rid of that, I'm going to reach further forward, so really push my arms straight. Starting with that rib tuck in. That's 2. Pointed toes, as always. And that's 3. Starting to get into it by the end. And that was a deliberate coming down, which is what you want. You are in control of your handstand. It's not in control of you. You're the boss, not gravity. And then you've got your good leg, so you can feel nice and feel good about how you're finishing. So, good leg forward, just a 3. That's your 1. Ooh, that's an ugly shape, but a hill. You guys notice that? That tuck's not there. So again, I really want to set and make sure that's there from the start, so I don't have to think about it when I need to switch it on. It's already gone. And that's 3. So that's where we're going to be finishing with our handstand portion of it. The other bit is now similar to how I said about the wall. If you're not confident in your chair, or you've never done chair stands before, or you don't have cushions, or you're just free to place it like pretty close to the wall. That'll save everything. Grab some water. Water's good. See if anybody's talking in the comments. That's always nice. Yeah, the flex feet one's a little bit, just that little bit of push away from the wall, and you don't lean so much. It forces you to be working a little bit more. It's good for you, I reckon, Alice. Doesn't have to be your go-to standard, but train every so often. And yes, I definitely feel you on that, Julia. Bad leg, silly leg. Silly leg feels so, but it gets better, right? The more you do it, it gets better. So now, we're going to do a little bit of chair stands. And the idea behind this is, it's going to be working the idea of being upside down more so than your handstand. It's easier to hold. I find it easier to get into. It's not going to be quite the same shape. And the reason with that is when a chair stand, it's hard to go dead flat. Because the minute you overbalance, you've got nothing to save yourself with, like you do in a regular handstand. So most chair stands you'll see will be slightly on an angle. Unless they're amazing at it. Which I'm not, but I can do them, so that's something. This is how you do a chair stand. Okay, so grab your chair. If you guys have seen the ones in the hub, ideally it would be like a chair at the hub. That's what you want to be chair standing on. This is less than ideal, but it'll do. And if you were worried about doing this, you would have it set up against the wall sideways like this. So if I was then doing my chair stand, and I was to fall over backwards, I would just hit the wall. But that's hard for you guys to see if I do it like that. So we're going to have our chair set here. The idea is for this, I don't think I'm going to kick the light. I'll put that here. I don't think I'll kick the light. My shoulder is going to be taking the place of my spare hand. So I'm going to have one hand sort of onto the closest side half to me. I've got my thumb down along the side of the chair and my fingers on top. Helps take a little bit of pressure off the wrist. You can do a flat hand if you want, but it sets your shoulder in a funny position. So I'm going, fingers pointing forwards. I'm going to place this shoulder here, closer to the end of the chair so it's stacking straight down through that leg. And my other hand's going to be in line with that shoulder, not with my hand. So that position's going to look like this. So my hand on the chair is significantly, it's not significantly, but it is behind my other shoulder. And depending on the height of your chair, your bottom arm may not be straight. You might need to bend it. C'est la vie, right? From there, you're going to try and go into your handstand shape. It's going to be slightly more bananaed, usually, particularly when you start out trying, or you'll be on like a dead diagonal, which is cool in itself. But the idea is you can do your kick up, or if you've got the core strength, you can try and do a slow press. But the idea for your full chair stand is going to look like this. And in that, I know I'm on a diagonal, which is not great. I'm very conscious about kicking these windows. I've got maybe, like it's still 50% side, so I've got 50% of my weight in my bottom hand. But I've got a lot of it in my shoulder, and I've still got probably like a good 40 to 50% in my other hand on that side. That's still giving me a fair amount of control and balance. The shoulder's just taking some of that away. So that's all that is. If you've got a hardwood chair, I would recommend getting a cushion or something. Or when you try it on the hub chairs, if you want. It hurts on a straight wooden chair. But give it a couple of goes. You can do a kick if you've set it up next to the wall, like I haven't, like the way I showed you guys before. You can go for that slower press. There's a couple of you watching who could probably do that. Yana, Julia, you guys should be doing that. Have a couple of goes. Set your shoulder, make sure it's stacked, and before you kick, try and stack your hips as high as you can over your shoulders first, and then you can play with some shapes, if you're feeling like that. something to have a go with. Take some video. Stop what you're doing right now. Take some video. Send it to me. Hashtag Circus Hub Community. Do it. I want to see what you guys are doing. Some of you have been doing that. It's been great. Have a look. So have a play with some chair stands. Oh, I just had a quick look under it. You see how I am on a slight diagonal? 1, I don't fully trust this chair. 2, again, once you're dead straight, I've got less control because this arm is now bent, and this arm is here, and all my pushing weight is coming from behind. At that point, I can't really push out my shoulder to save myself, so of course I'm on a slight bend. That is okay. Once you start getting to more like presentable, like in a show level, someone might be like, no, make it straight. But for now, I don't really mind. Start to be happy being upside down. That's what this is for. This is for a mental training thing, as far as I see them. They're a valid thing in themselves, but I see them as this mental. Used to being upside down. And if you're feeling like it, you can practice your tuck shape up to your handstand shape, or you can fall down like I just did. Practice whatever shape you want. Worth a bit of a play, right? And they're pretty good to get. It's a neat part. I'm not going to say that. Don't do these at parties. There's usually not enough space, and sometimes don't do handstands under the influence, folks. It doesn't always go well. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. The whole point of these is, and again, if you had another chair, you could then start stacking them, but I don't. Apologies. But they're also a really nice little confidence builder of being upside down. Make sure you've got your cushions, make sure you have a spot if you want one, and you have someone who is capable and prepared to spot. I cannot stress that enough. Don't prod someone into spotting if they're not there for it. Biggest thing here is keeping that push here, because that's what's providing you with your support. Other than that, that's all I really have to say on chair stands, other than keep practicing them. We're coming to the end of class, so thanks for chilling out, doing some happy handstands with me. Ooh, that's a good name for the class. We could just rename it Happy Handstands. Happy Handstands? Hungry Hippies, I don't know. I've been Aidin, check us out. We're still going to stretch down, but show me some of the stuff you guys are doing. Some of you have been. It's been really, really cool to watch. Seeing some of you guys get that flow, being in that handstand. It's just, show me your success, or show me your less successful attempts as well, if you want some more specific feedback. The Hub might be rolling something out for that soon as well, which will be cool. Keep an eye out for that. Check us out on our Circus Hub channels. Rich should be posting some links in the chat. Hint, hint. Our website, Facebook page, Instagram, all of that sort of stuff. But for now, let's do a little bit of a stretch down. So I'm going to come on down into our child's pose. Reaching forward, and we're going to try and rotate our armpits down into the ground. Pulling your hands away, so your fingers are pulling away, but you're really getting that, it would be it's external rotation. Sorry, straps fast will know how much I messed that up. It's your external rotation driving your shoulders into the ground. And then we're going to walk our hands over to one side, probably our right side. We're going to try and even our shoulders out so we're not on a massive tilt. And good practice, breathe into this side. That should help accentuate the stretch. This beautiful little pull along your lat. It's really nice. I thoroughly enjoy it. Let me just hang out here for a little bit. But we can't hang out here for all day, unfortunately. What we can do is walk over to our other side. Start breathing in through this one as well. The other thing I was thinking of, just while we're here, is if there's any for those of you who are starting to be a little bit more comfortable in handstand, or you've seen something, or you want to learn something in particular, drop me a line, send something in the chat, comment on the video, chuck something on the Hub Facebook page or Instagram, or hit me up if there's anything particularly you want to learn hand balance wise, ask. We're going to have our stretch our wrists for this one. Follow along. I presume you know this one by now. I hope you do. Yeah, I can't guarantee I can teach all of it, particularly not over the internet. Some of it is just not safe. Some of it I just wouldn't. Like bailing, I'm not going to teach you guys how to bail out of a handstand over an internet. I don't know what space you've got. I don't know what valuable items you have near that space. How comfortable it's not worth it. I'm going to bend our elbows, start pulling up. But yeah, potentially Crocs. I might teach you guys the beginning of Crocs. Crocs are fun. Thumbs up in the chat if you guys want to learn Crocs next week. Or beginning Crocs. We're still going to keep doing our regular handstands. Keep doing your regular handstands, folks. That's the only way handstands get better. Yeah. We'll just keep stretching out, and I'll just keep talking the usual amount of nonsense. But thanks for joining in. Thanks for being consistent. Actually, there's a whole bunch of you guys who are like on the regular all the time. It's great. It's actually really, really gratifying. Fists, little punch. Keep the fists together. Back to the fists on the ground. Start to straighten the arms. And if your fingers start to come apart, go lower. This is not one to cheat on. It doesn't help. So, yeah. How much more time do I have? Oh, we've got like another couple of minutes. I'm going for a cheeky little pike stretch, because pike's always good. I know a lot of you in the chat already have solid pikes, but you can always have a more solid pike, right? So reaching forward, flattening down, reaching to wherever you're at. Oh, I'm not very far today. And then just hold. Get your belly button into your knees if you can. Oh, tell you what, if I go here, you can see and laugh. But keep your ankles together, and we're still focusing on our legs going down, so we're not bending. No sneaky little tunnels. Other than that, it looks like I'm currently out of time, but thanks for joining in. Check out Circus Hub Community, check out our website, hit us up on Instagram, let me know. Just keep in contact. It's really nice to hear from the circus community. Oh, and the whole like chat explained. Yes, headstands. Go Yana, you do that. Chest stands, yeah, chest stands are good. Cool. Crocs next week apparently. With wrist strengthening exercises, but I've rambled enough. So thanks for joining in. I will see you guys next week, presumably, probably. We'll see what this crazy world does. So, see ya. Have a good time.